is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Andre, how you doing, man?
I'm in a decent mood. My pettiness is at an all-time high.
Man, stuff that happens. um, so what you been playing, dude?
Was playing The Evil Within. Played a little bit of Cat Quest. Played a couple fighting games. There was one other game I played, but it was only briefly because I just wanted to test video of it. And now I can't remember which game that was. It wasn't anything important. It was just something I might be playing.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm still on first Ascendant. Played a little bit of that Capcom SNK game that released. They got that
SNK versus Capcom.
SVC Chaos.
Yeah, that's the SNK one.
Yeah, that one. I was playing that one. The one that did the Shadow release. I was playing that one a little bit.
Yeah, the one that they threw out under the radar on everybody.
Yeah. And I jumped back into Tekken 8 because I forgot Lydia had dropped. So I jumped back into that. Played a little bit of Mortal Kombat, checking out Takeda. I really should not have bought the Switch version of that game. But what else did I play? First Ascendant that, and I played. Oh yeah, Trails Through Daybreak. I'm still going through Trails Through Daybreak. Very good game. I still am enjoying the mix-up combat between action and turn-based. I think they did a good job on that. They did a very good job, in my opinion, on that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Oh, and I bought Sparks of Hope because it was on sale. It was one of those crazy Ubisoft sales, so I bought the whole thing for like $20. So
I actually got the physical of that. I still haven't played either one. I have both Mario Rabbids games. I haven't touched either one. I have them both. I have not touched either one. I got the complete for both of them. Haven't touched either one.
I played the first one and I didn't enjoy it because I didn't like that combat. I think the second one, Sparks of Hope, has better combat that I like. I still don't like the. I like if you're gonna do turn-based, just do turn-based. Don't do the grid thing. But they did.
That's because you actively don't really like the grid strategy thing.
Yeah, I don't. I will be 100% honest. I don't. That's just not my thing. But this one, I kind of like it a little bit better, just because it doesn't play like that. So because everything's in that circle, it makes it feel a little bit different to me. It must be a mental thing with me with that gameplay style. I just can't get into it.
It took me a minute to really end up liking that type of gameplay myself. So I can't even front and say it. I immediately fell in love with it.
Like when you got me into Project Cross on, what saved me with Project Cross on was that story. That story was just ridiculous. The comedy for that game was atrociously funny. Yeah, that's why I was like, I have to finish this because this makes no damn sense, and I'm here for it. So yeah.
And on top of that, Project Cross Zone also had the combo system that they had in it, which kind of alleviated it a little bit. It's not just straight put your character here and then they'll fight. You kind of actively have to do it yourself. Yeah, and then you have to be smart about who you team up with and pair up. So yeah. Hey, Ball, how you doing, man? Skies of Arcadia, man, I miss that game. I miss Skies of Arcadia so much. I really wish they would re-release that. An updated version of it.
I remember about a couple years ago, I think, they talked to the director of the game, and she was like, "Yeah, I want them to do it, but fans have to ask." She's like,
I ain't got no control over it. Basically,
yeah. That's why I was like, man, because they could at least do the GameCube version, I would think.
I mean, well, at this point now, they could even do the Dreamcast version if they wanted. If they really wanted to make it be special, they could do both.
Yeah,
on one package.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that I never understood. Like, okay, so Sonic Adventure 2 is on Xbox and PlayStation and Steam, but it's not on Switch. And I'm like, why don't y'all just do the GameCube version and just put
the version that they used. That's the bad part. That's the version they used.
Yeah, so I'm like, why don't y'all just do that? I'm like, I don't understand why that one, Kingdom Hearts, and I forgot what the other one was. I don't understand why they didn't put it on the Wii U and Switch. I don't understand that. I don't. I just that's like money on the table.
It definitely
That's
is.
your Switch where you got 143 milli and you don't want to put that on there.
Like the bad thing is now that they got Sonic and Shadow Generations coming out very soon, and you have those Sonic Adventure 2 levels in there because of Shadow,
Yeah, now
it
would be
would
the perfect time to do it.
make sense to go ahead and drop Sonic Adventures Director's Cut and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle
And you could drop both of
as
those
a
for what?
compilation together.
Yeah, for about what 30?
I say 40 just because it would be a
Just
new release for the Switch, but
yeah,
they
30,
can still
40.
do it.
And people will buy it.
I would buy it again.
Buy it. Yeah.
I already
I
look. I
mean,
already got Sonic Adventure for my Xbox, and then I got Adventure and Adventure 2 on my PC,
yeah.
and I will
Because
go ahead and get them again.
I had it on Dreamcast, but y'all know about my Dreamcast situation. My Dreamcast passed away back in 2019. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I played and beat both those games on Dreamcast, and I
yeah,
still played and beat them again.
yeah. So just let me use my doggone GameCube controller. Since I don't know why Nintendo loves to have a GameCube controller, but don't tell you what all games you can play with it, like it's some damn secret. I still don't understand that one, but there is that. But yeah, I didn't understand that either. I do like the Shadow Sonic Generations. I just hope it's more than like 3 Shadow levels, because the one thing I hate that they do with Shadow is they'll advertise Shadow, like for instance with Sonic Forces. I'm looking at 3 damn levels, 3 or 4 levels. I'm like, really, bruh?
Try to sell you on them, but he ain't
Yeah,
really
he
the
ain't
main
really in
attraction.
it. Yeah. So I'm like, stop doing that. If you're gonna do it, like have him in there a good chunk of time. I'm hoping that's what I'm hoping this is with Generations.
Well, I'm figuring they just took what they already had and just added a
And him,
section for him.
yeah, or at least at the very least, like it's a good chunk of the game. I
My
mean,
thing is what y'all just doing Shadow, but y'all wholeheartedly disrespecting Knuckles, who was his original rival. Like just wholeheartedly said, nah, okay, the echidna that got the drip, nah,
nah, which I don't
we
understand that
can't
one
give
either.
our Sonic equivalent of Piccolo any shine. Even
Any shine
even
whatsoever.
though Piccolo himself just got a lot of shine. Like
Yeah,
we can't.
that did make canon because Orange is in the manga now.
Oh, man.
So it did make canon. So I'm like, okay.
They just don't look. Y'all just don't know what to do with my boy. I
Yeah.
understand it. Y'all
Yeah.
just didn't want to treat him right.
Give him some of the best fights, but never, give him that respect. Damn shame.
Mm, mm.
Damn shame. All right, so last week I got asked about the Soul Reaver remaster. Here's the thing. I tried looking some stuff up on it and I couldn't find anything substantial, I should say. The thing is there was the usual, I think it was either Italy or Spain had a thing saying that it was coming, and the only other thing I could find was at San Diego Comic Con there was a diorama of Kane and can't remember his name.
Raziel.
Yeah, Raziel. They have a diorama because they were selling it at Comic Con. That's the only thing I could find on it. So I just wanted to ask, like, okay, as far as that series is concerned, because I like Onimusha, I enjoy that series, but I only like the first one, and I think I like Omen. I don't like all of it. Like with Onimusha, I like the first one and the third one, Demon Siege. I didn't care for Dawn of Dreams all that much, and two, I mean, I played it. I don't remember it.
I was
So
like, it didn't affect me
no,
much.
it didn't. Like not like that first one and that third one did. The third one I just like because that opening intro, and then they had one of my favorite actors in there, Jean Reno. The Professional. If y'all see
I
any
remember that too.
assassin movie from the 90s, The
I remember
Professional.
all the advertisements showing him off so hard too.
Yeah, like dude, Jean Reno is like one of my favorite actors.
man.
Like, dude, nobody can ever say anything about The Professional, bro.
Nah.
The Professional, that was bro. So I that game was actually pretty good in my opinion. So as far as Legacy of Kain, I'm like I played the first was on Dreamcast, right? I think it was.
Technically, the first Legacy of Kain is Blood Omen that was on PC and PlayStation.
Yeah.
But then you have Soul Reaver, which still same timeline, but different
Yeah.
perspective because you're playing from
Raziel's
perspective in Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
And in Blood Omen, you're playing from Kain's perspective.
Yeah. So I played it on Dreamcast, which means I played Soul Reaver.
Yeah, you played.
Yeah.
The original Soul Reaver was on a PlayStation as well. It went to Dreamcast later.
Yeah. So that's why I played it. So
that's why I originally beat it too. But I'm remembering now because it was the PS1 version of it.
Yeah. So yeah, would I love to see it come back? Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I don't know how I would do though, but
I honestly want them to redo. I would want them to redo the whole series because they could do the whole series as a remastered collection. Because you have Soul Reaver, you have Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, then Blood Omen 2. If by chronological order for the story, it would be Blood Omen 2, then Soul Reaver 2, and then Defiance. Defiance is the last one in the series.
You know what? I don't think I played Defiance.
I haven't, and I haven't played it yet. Because I want to go back through the other games and actually play through those first. I haven't played through Defiance at all. Because I got them all on Steam.
Well, Steam, boy, you gotta love it.
I have Blood Omen 2 and Soul Reaver 1 and 2 and Defiance through Steam. I don't have Blood Omen.
Yes, I have.
Because that's the only one that I think is missing.
Yeah, I played Soul Reaver 1 and 2. That's the ones I played in.
Yeah, because Soul Reaver 2 only came, as far as consoles, that only came out on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, because that's when I had my PlayStation 2. That's what I remember. Because I was like, why isn't this on Dreamcast? So that's what I was saying to myself.
I think at that point, that was right after Dreamcast had been officially canned.
Yeah, officially canned, yeah. But I was like, y'all could have put this on there. I'm like, I'd rather play this on Dreamcast because, in my opinion, Dreamcast, certain games just play better on Dreamcast than they did on PlayStation. Grandia 2 is a shining example of that. But yeah.
There's several I could point out because there's Headhunter, which plays better on Dreamcast, but never released over here. That was the European version.
Code Veronica plays
Code
better
Veronica
on Dreamcast.
was better on Dreamcast as far as controls.
Yeah.
I want to say Mockin' X was better on Dreamcast as far as controls are concerned too.
Well, no, I take that back. I didn't play Mockin' X on PlayStation. I've only played it on Dreamcast, so I wouldn't know that.
I played it on both. I liked having the sticks for the PlayStation, but it just didn't feel comfortable.
Gotcha.
Because of how close they are. So it felt better playing it on Dreamcast.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and Ready to Rumble played better on Dreamcast. Both of them.
And almost any fighting game that was between the two of them played better on Sega.
Yeah. That damn Soul Calibur. I don't think Soul Calibur was the first one.
The first one was only on Dreamcast. The second one never came out on Dreamcast.
Yeah. So the first one
that'd have been interesting if it would have been able to be. But,
I mean,
it probably would have felt like the GameCube one.
Yeah, that's probably what it would have felt like. I often wonder like who would have been the Sega character. Would it have been Strider? Would it have been Strider though?
It couldn't have been Strider. That's Capcom.
Oh, okay. Well,
if it would have been anybody, it would have been what's his name from Golden Axe?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name, but you know I'm talking about the barbarian with the barbarian. Fucking, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he would have been. I'm pretty sure he would have been the one that.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah.
For Sega.
That would have been interesting.
He'd have been the straight up standout.
Yeah, him and Link.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that'd have been fun to be able to see that set up. God damn it. See, Sega, y'all fucked up. Y'all messed up so bad. We could have
Yeah.
had Soul Calibur, the Golden Axe character in it. Y'all screwed everything up.
Everything. So it is what it is. Whatever. All right, so let's get into this Bungie thing. Okay, so Bungie has had some layoffs, and some of the former employees are like, the CEO got to go. I got this article off of Push Square. Apparently, the way this is going, they laid off 220 employees this week, and a further 150 are going to be reallocated to roles elsewhere within Sony. The remaining 40 staff are in the process of establishing a brand new PlayStation studio. Um, uh,
That's essentially saying Bungie's dying.
yeah, that's essentially what it is. So a lot of the former employees are saying that it's time for current CEO Pete Parsons to go. They are adding that it's because of his poor leadership that basically this has happened. Now, my thought was the whole reason why Sony acquired Bungie was to keep this from happening. That's what I thought this was about.
I mean, yeah, after obviously the initial layoffs happened, you would have
Yeah.
expected that things would have been leveled out by then, but I guess not.
Yeah. So, and like I said, this is from Push Square. If you want to read up on it, th- just going by what I've seen about it, it looks like this is a classic case of a CEO getting greedy.
Mismanagement of
Yeah,
funds.
mismanagement of funds, buying stuff and then
It
bragging about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it don't help that the same day that all this came out, it was also found out that within the same time period between the layoffs, he spent over $500,000 on cars.
Yep.
Like now, the only devil's advocate I'd play to that is we don't know where that money particularly came from per se. But so many people, it's just the look of it. It looks like
Yeah.
he's using money that should have been spent funding stuff projects for the company for personal use.
It's bad optics. It's
Yeah,
very bad optics.
horribly is a horrible look for things.
Now, I would be a little bit forgiving if that was like something he had like pre-purchased, and but then I would come out and say that if that was the case. If that was stuff that I had got beforehand, and uh then it just came out that all the stuff came in like within the last month or so, that I'd be like, hey, look, this was already purchased before that. So with my money. But other than that, yeah, it's just a real bad look when your CEO does that, and then you have former employees basically calling him out about stiffing them on bonuses and stuff like that, and they can't find the money and all that. So
Yeah,
it
it just
doesn't
sounds
help.
horrible.
Yeah, it
Sounds
does
like
not
he was
help.
giving himself the bonuses.
Yeah. So it's one of those situations where, yeah, I'm glad. Uh, I was happy that Bungie got bought by Halo, because I was like, okay, this should be able to help them, because after the whole Activision thing and them not getting, you know, not being able to do Destiny the way they wanted to, I figured Sony will probably be a little bit more understanding and let them cook. But this is not a good look. And then on top of that, Sony's just basically like, look, y'all just gonna get reallocated. I mean, I hope the people that got laid off can find work, and I think they will. Bungie's teams were always talented, so them finding work should not be a problem. It should not be a problem them finding work. Um, as we know, Retro is always hiring. Retro and Monolith Salt is always hiring, so they shouldn't. It shouldn't be hard for them to find work, in my opinion. But this is like a jacked up situation, to say the least.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to just automatically run with the idea that he took money from the company and used it for personal stuff.
Yeah,
But to say within the time frame of them being purchased by Sony, he spent $2.3 million, I think.
Yeah,
and this is after the acquisition by Sony,
yeah.
it still just looks horrible as hell.
Yeah, because like I said, it's just bad optics. It's just
Yeah,
really
it
bad
is
optics.
a horrible look for that.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, yeah, bro, you might want to step down or cut your losses, bro. I'm pretty sure they got a good severance package. He ain't. Let's put it like this:
He
he ain't
ain't
gonna be
going out
hurting some money.
empty-handed.
Yeah,
He ain't leaving empty-handed at
Yeah,
all.
he ain't gonna be hurting. We'll put it like that. Because a lot of people think like when the CEO retires, something like that, or leaves, they don't make that. Nah, they do well.
I severely wish that companies would come up with a clause in their contracts, and it probably exists, but there's so many workarounds to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But just have a clause in there that if you don't reach certain milestones, that you don't get those particular bonuses.
Yeah,
that would help cut down on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, like I think because like with the whole Bobby Kotick situation, I mean, the reason why they couldn't get rid of him was because it was going to cost them too much. It was just going to cost them too much money. So that's why Activision could never get rid of him. The only way they was going to be able to get rid of him was if somebody acquired him, which is why a lot of people tend to have forgotten that during the whole Microsoft thing. But that's one of those situations where, like, dude, if they would have got rid of him, they would have had to pay him out. It was a ridiculous amount. I forgot what it was. I remember reading about it. I'm like, that is a nice severance package for somebody that did the stuff he did. So
screwed up the companies severely.
Yeah, severely. Especially when you start hearing like the Overwatch team and they was like, yeah, we actually have a story mode and he made us cut it when it was close to completion.
I really wish I would have been able to be the one to just kick him square in the jaw.
Well, the thing
right in the jaw.
You put out an 8-minute trailer and a 10-minute gameplay thing about the story mode.
And then just said, nah, screw it. Don't give it out.
Yeah, like.
Which was the problem with the first Overwatch. It didn't have it embedded in the game. It was a series of YouTube videos.
Yeah. Why do that?
They go to embed it in the game and you say no. So, all poor business decisions. 101.
Yeah. Or just, I don't care because I know I'm going to make this amount at the end of the year. So screw it.
Which is horrible. Like he shouldn't be able to do that type of stuff where you have a person that's running a company who you can tell is intentionally running it into the ground.
Mm-hmm. Just so you can
just gets paid buku bucks to screw it up.
I mean, David Zaslav. But I mean, bruh, like you got stuff that's completed, but you won't let it out, and you get a bonus at the end of the year.
JP, he's like, yeah, I did life wrong,
bruh. Jay,
we all did life wrong.
Jay, let me tell you something. Like, I will never forget. We was at work talking one day, and a couple of my coworkers, because they have kids, they were talking about how much they spend in daycare. I'm like, bruh, if I would have known, I would undercut some of these people and make a killing.
The problem is that if you want to do like a smaller daycare, they have way heavier requirements.
Yeah. But see, my mom's a retired school teacher. I already got that taken care of. So I was like,
look, I already got the help. I already know.
Yeah, I got the help. So, bro, you charging? Because like one of my coworkers at the time, because they had 2 kids, the one they was using was $900 a head.
Yeah,
like, bro, he was spending $1,800 a month.
I'm like, how are people supposed to pay mortgage and rent to daycare services?
I'm like, bro.
But then
why did I not think about this?
But then you realize that the people that are doing the jobs don't get paid that much. So it's like, where's that money going?
Little Debbie snacks.
Ain't no. Little Debbie becomes Big Deborah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon evolution.
Nah, man, y'all see how much Little Debbie? Man, this super case used to be $1.29. Them was $2.69 now. Little Debbie making a killing with this inflation.
Hostess is too.
Yeah, Hostess is too.
Remember, Hostess was going out of business. Now they didn't come back with a
Yeah,
fury.
they made that
Everything
comeback.
expensive.
Y'all want some of these? Y'all want some Twinkies, huh?
You,
Y'all should have watched Zombieland.
I'll be like, oh, y'all see all these different Twinkies we got? We got the plain, we got the chocolate. Now we got the chocolate with the peanut butter in the middle. Then we got the birthday cake versions. Like how many different Twinkies do you need to make? Like,
more, like that Kylo Ren meme.
oh man,
The hilarity, man. But yeah, that's crazy that they could do that. But once again, I mean, that's capitalism for you.
that end of capitalism sucks.
Yeah,
That end of it sucks. Like you can come in and screw up an established company, burn it to the ground, and still walk away with bank in your wallet. I'm like, where is this money coming from that you just get to walk away with?
yeah. I don't get it. I don't. I wish I did, but I don't.
Say somebody found the loopholes in business. That's all that is.
Yeah. Oh, and then the whole, uh, you know, we'll just make laws to make sure that I get my money and everybody else don't.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So there is always that. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I still find it funny. I still find it somewhat funny. But all right, so we got another game getting pushed back, but I think this one actually makes sense, and that is Avowed. Avowed got delayed until early 2025. Good or bad? In my opinion, good, because we don't even got everything that's supposed to be coming out in fall, because we still got Gamescom coming out at the end of the month and Tokyo Game Show in September. But yeah, I think I'm already got my 4 games that I'm getting for the rest of the year, and then I'm done. Everything else gonna have to get bought on sale. So
pretty much.
I mean, I am not rich. I am not a baller. I'm a budgeter. So there's gonna be some stuff that ain't getting got. And Zelda gets bought, Renatus is getting bought, and Yeast 10 is getting bought. Everything else,
gonna have to wait.
Yeah,
just gonna have to wait.
You're just gonna have to wait. So I think that's actually a good idea.
The only problem they might have is that I'm pretty sure Pokemon Legends ZA is coming out early next year.
Well, you think they're gonna do January?
Probably. They probably gonna go for January again. If not January, I think the latest is February.
Yeah, well, that does make sense.
And then that's still going to be within potentially 3 months of that game. So
because technically that is a dead month for games.
Yes, it is.
So if you want to make it, well, Avowed can still come out because you can still make your money. I mean, I wouldn't go head to head with Pokemon, but
I just make sure you were at least 2 weeks out from 2 to 3 weeks out from Pokemon. Yeah. You do not want to be that close to it. Just 2 to 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
So that all the Pokeheads can go ahead and play that game, burn themselves out, and then move on to something else.
Yeah. While they wait for the other content to drop. Because
pretty much.
For some reason, people love to burn through content and not take their time with it, and then complain that they ain't got content fast enough. Like content can just come like that. That's not how that works.
Like people gotta make it.
Yeah.
This is probably one of those reasons. You know what? I'm gonna leave that subject alone before I speak something into existence. I'm gonna let that one go. I'm not gonna let the words come out because I just thought about it. Yeah, let's not create that path.
Gotcha. But I will say, because one of the things I'm not a fan of is that first person viewpoint for RPG. I don't like it. I don't like it when Atrian Odyssey did it. I'm not liking it now. But for those people that want to try it out, at least it's gonna help your wallet. So that's the good thing. At least it'll help your wallet by not coming out, because I think it was originally supposed to come out holiday this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was holiday.
Yeah, I think early holiday this year.
Yeah, but hey, getting pushed back can only help. So
hopefully,
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah. Hopefully.
this is Microsoft. They have been pushing back stuff for a minute, and it ain't all been good. So
I mean,
let's
look,
hope
dude.
let's hope for something
It's
positive.
it's not Everwild. We've got more than one game trailer for that for Avowed, so it's not Everwild. So yeah,
And the team didn't come out and say they don't know what it was.
yeah, the team actually knows what it is.
They know what they're making.
I still think that's the
Well,
craziest
like
thing
just
I ever seen
like
in
if
my
you don't
life.
know what it's going to be, don't release a trailer.
I'm
Just
talking. They did
don't.
a whole trailer and they straight up said they don't know what it is. I had no words for that. That's just like, wait, what? Because I thought it was a joke. I thought I was being punked, and no, I wasn't. And we haven't heard of it since that was what 2019.
Yeah, that was like not a word,
Not a
not
word.
not a not a blink,
But the funny thing too is I haven't heard people asking about it either.
because
So
people
they,
forgot it
yeah.
exists.
So I'm like, okay, they was more worried about
That's
Perfect
why
Dark
everybody forgot it existed.
because they was worried about Perfect Dark. Well, they was pissed off about Perfect Dark. So
I mean, everybody was pissed off about Perfect Dark.
yeah,
I'm still a little bit cautious of that, but I'll remain cautiously optimistic. Maybe the game will surprise me.
yeah, you never know. You never really know because I'm probably gonna get it, but I'm if I just I just don't want it to be zero. I just don't want it to be zero. That's all.
I, there were things that could be built off of from zero, but I still don't like that storyline. That storyline was one of the major problems for
Yeah,
zero.
yeah.
Now, if
Especially
they if
when
they build off of some of the mechanics from zero, fine, which it looked like they did,
yeah.
but just not that story. I honestly would prefer a brand new timeline to going off of zero.
Yeah, because it's evident that they don't want to use the OG Perfect Dark. It's evident they don't want to do that. So that's fine. If that's what they want to do, cool. Just say that. Just say that. Don't try to make it seem like, oh no, Perfect Dark one exists. This is what happened before it.
They
No,
don't feel like they
that can't
don't
happen before it.
they don't feel like they match up in any way, shape, or form.
No, they don't. But that's what I'm saying. It has to be one of those situations where I'm just hoping they just for my sanity, just say, hey, look, this is not in any way beholden to OG, just because y'all play zero.
Or at worst, just say it's a multiverse thing. Because that would actually be a cool angle to go with. I ain't gonna lie. A
uh,
multiverse where we got multiple different versions of the characters, I'd be fine with that.
uh, I just watched Deadpool again, so no more multiverse stuff.
Look, at this point, that's going to be one of the only redeeming features for the whole plot line. If they do
Basically,
that.
yeah. Because dude, to be fair, that's probably one of the better ways to fix it.
Yeah, just say it's a multiverse, and
Yeah,
each Joanna we have seen is a different Joanna,
Joanna. Yeah,
but they are connected through this multiversal thing that Carrington is trying to be setting up. Then,
it will make
then
sense.
I then I'd be like, okay, so Carrington's little swag is a little bit deeper than we thought,
Yeah,
and then on top of that, we get different versions of Joanna. We can just push Zero off to the side because nobody really like her.
that would be dope. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. But yeah,
If I was writing it, they would, because I would definitely make that
it,
the main thing. I'd be like, look, OG Joanna and this new one, they cool. They don't really like Zero.
I can see that working.
that
I can
would
see
be
that working.
that'd be one of the funniest setups. But I mean, they ain't gonna do it because
Nah,
they're gonna take out all the campy and cheesiness out of
which
it.
which I don't understand why you would do that. Like you don't everything don't got to be serious. That's one of the things I liked about the original. I'm like it had
Perfect
its
Dark was
moments.
just as unserious as James Bond.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that helped it. To be fair,
It is.
um, to try to make it super serious, I'm like, but then again, I'll let me go back and clarify this. I don't really care for the Daniel Craig James Bond movies either. So
No.
I don't really care for those. I like James Bond, the quirky, silly, the super billionaire has a underwater layer, James Bond stuff. Like I like that stuff.
The
So
man with the golden gun that only
uh,
has one bullet in it that
yeah,
he always gets a kill shot from.
basically. Um, the Moonraker, the Live and Let Die, the henchman that's clearly a mutant at Charles Xavier School, because that mug can survive a rocket to the chest, uh, being dropped in a volcano, shot out into outer space. The only thing he has survived is his head getting cut off. So clearly he's not a Highlander. But other
Well,
than that,
no. That would make him a Highlander, technically.
yeah,
That would make him a Highlander because that would be the only other explanation. Because taking his head off is the thing that did him in, so his body couldn't revive itself.
Because that's one thing I'm just like, dude, where do these evil billionaires get these henchmen from?
Then you got 8 Ball, who's got Kung Lao's hat.
Yeah, basically, essentially. So
running around here taking people out with a hat.
A bowler hat at that.
Just throwing it and
but it's a bowler hat. It don't even have like yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like I don't I like the campiness of it to an extent. Like that's the thing I think that set it apart. Because everything don't have to be serious. That's the thing that's been killing me lately. I've been thinking about it, and I guess because when I started gaming was late 80s. So I don't game. I game as a hobby. I game to, disconnect from reality for a couple hours a day. I don't game to get right back in reality. So like I know some people like the ultra realistic and they want these Academy Award winning stories and all that stuff, but I'm just sitting there like, dude, I don't play video games for that. I play video games to be entertained, yes, but not in a realistic format. What's up, Sandstorm? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's good?
Not much. We're freestyling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but talking about Perfect Dark and realism in games and stuff like that. So I've never really liked the realism because, like I said, I play video games to unwind. I don't play them to get back into reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's another thing I think is actually killing gaming is the fact that like you want all this. Well, a certain section of the gaming community wants all this ultra realism and movie level music and voice acting and all that, and then get mad that there's only one game every 7 years from that company. I'm like, right. You can't. It's one or the other. You can't have your cake and eat it too in that way. And then on top of that, like game costs $200 million to make, and you're wondering why the company had to lay people off.
Right. So my thoughts on that. So I don't care for realism in gaming of present times. That I think that is really, I just don't care for it. Whether it's Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, like all of that stuff. Like if it takes place in the present time, I really don't care for it. Like you said, like I'm here to unwind. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of chill out. But if it's something that takes place like in the future, like during a time that I know that I'm never going to live around, or if it's somewhere in the past, or if it's like fantasy related or something like that, like Skyrim, or you know what I mean? And I say most of this thinking that like all the stuff that I'm doing is in VR at this point. Like it's not even just like looking at a screen, you know what I'm saying? Because like any of those games, whether it's like a Star Wars game, taking place in the future, Cyberpunk, or Skyrim or any of those, like I could really care less what the art design was. But if I was in VR, one, like I said, I wouldn't play any game of present time if it had realism like that. But if we were going for the realistic looks like of the future, or of a fantasy past, yeah, I would love to see like a dragon flying over my head and be like, that's big. You know what I mean? Like whoa, you know what I'm saying? But I think that also caters to the piece of immersion. You know what I'm saying? Like that helps build, like that's world building at that point. So like the art style helps the world building in that sense. But like if I'm just like on a 2D regular 2D screen, realism doesn't really help me get more or less immersive in the game. So like I said, if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, I'm not like, oh my gosh, the cars just look, and you can see the little sparkles on them and every like
Yeah, I don't.
that does nothing for me.
Yeah,
You know, the
I,
sweat.
I remember having this conversation with a person at work, and we were talking about live action versus animation,
Mhm.
and they were talking about how you can only understand and get a good sense of emotion in live action. And I'm like, have you ever seen anything from Studio Ghibli?
Super lies.
I'm like,
Super
have you
lies.
ever seen Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle? Have you ever seen any of that stuff? She's like, no. I'm like, go watch Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, or Kiki's Delivering Service. Delivery
Oh,
Service.
love Kiki's delivery service.
I'm like, go watch those and come back and tell me if you can't get emotion through that. He Granted, he actually went and watched Princess Mononoke. He had never seen Princess Mononoke before, which
Hmm.
I was like, how the heck did you miss that? Because he's my age. Went home, watched it, came back. That him and his wife watched it that weekend. Came back and we talked that Monday, and he was like, "Yeah, I recant my previous statement." I'm like, "Thank you."
That's he's probably one of the people that grew up around parents that said, "Oh, nah, you can't watch that because
It's
that's
for
not going
children.
to that's not going to help develop your mind." And people
Mind, yeah,
forget that
Hmm.
storytelling
yeah,
happens in multiple ways.
yeah,
You can read a book and get emotional context. So how
yeah,
could you not from an animation
yeah,
Right.
or from a still picture in a comic book? It just depends on how they present it.
yeah,
And it's crazy because these days, so many studios now are so fundamentally built around getting you to feel some sort of way about a character or a situation that you can't even say it's like, oh, it's just this anime that can really get you, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's just like, yo, did you not watch the All Might fight with All for One? Like anything at this point. You know, did you not watch Black Clover? Like, did you not see that
not
episode?
watch
You know
Attack
what I'm saying?
on
Like,
Titan.
yeah, you're not watching Attack on Titan. You know,
Like everything ain't Dragon
like,
Ball.
yeah. So I think whoever makes those statements, I feel like the majority of people who make those statements either haven't watched anime in like the last 5 to 10 years,
Yeah,
or they are stuck on the same animes, and haven't really branched
branched
out.
out. Yeah. Because one of my favorite new ones of this year is Wistoria Wand and Sword.
Hmm.
That's one of my new though. It just dropped. Like episode 4 came out today, and I'm like, dude, I am enjoying this, and it actually has a very good plot, and I'm actually amped to see it every Sunday. I'm like, dude, I'll be waiting for it.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. Because like for me personally, I played the first Last of Us, but
Hmm.
because I read so much, and because like I like to read and I'm up to date on my comics and stuff like that. I'm like, this is the road mixed with The Walking Dead. This doesn't do anything for me because I already know like the story beats you're trying to take. And but
Right.
if you haven't read the road or you haven't watched or read The Walking Dead, then I can understand you being moved and all that stuff. But it didn't do that to me because I've already had an experience and it was hella predictable to me.
Hmm.
Hella, and then on top of that, I just didn't like Joel. I'm like, Joel's a horrible character. I would have shot him. Um, so there was that. So I'm like, it's one of those situations where I can't fault people, but at the same time, I don't like it when people try to pretend like for instance, like Neil Druckmann. Look, if you want to make your video games Oscar worthy because you really want to write movies, that's cool. But just be honest about it.
Hmm.
Because what you ain't making games. You trying to make something else.
TV series.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to make. So
which is what they did with The Last of Us anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but that's my take on that. But because like for me, I get more out of Zelda than I do out of a lot of stuff that's realist, that focuses on realism. I get more out of Zelda and Metroid than I do out of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Straight up, like Metroid, I love Metroid. I mean, even though she is Nintendo's answer to Frieza, I get more out of Metroid.
I mean, technically, she existed before Frieza.
But her whole blowing up planets thing is like, if you weren't a good guy, I would swear you're part of the Frieza Force. If you weren't a good guy,
be his best soldier.
Yeah, jeez, girl. And you go, bro. People get mad, but I was like, is it really a spoiler to say that the planet's gonna blow up at the end of a Metroid game? The planet or whatever is gonna blow up.
The planet, the space station. Yeah. The asteroid, whatever you are on, it is going to blow up.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a spoiler. You spoiled the game for me. If you played the majority of these games, that is not a spoiler.
That is the end of every Metroid game. That is the literal end of every Metroid game. Her flying off on a ship and something blowing up behind her.
Yeah. That's why in Dread, when she was talking to Quiet Robe, and she was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." I'm like, "Oh hell!"
Right.
Like,
I got something for it. Don't worry.
I got something for him. Don't worry. This handle you.
I'm finna go to the drop ship. I'm finna go to the trunk of the drop ship. Give me 10 minutes to get the hell out of here. Like, God damn.
I mean, too bad he didn't get the chance to get away before something happened to him. But
it was just funny, that whole part. I'm like, hey, she talked, and I'm like, yeah, everybody's happy about that. I'm like, she about to blow up this planet, ain't she? She about to blow up this planet, ain't she?
That's my first thought. Whenever she touched down on a new planet, she about to destroy it. Look, in Super Metroid, she got 2 explosions: the one at the beginning of the game and the one at the end. Because you know that space station didn't last after she left. No. It. Like all them scientists was dead, and then Ridley rolled out with the Metroid. She was like, "All right, time to destroy the evidence."
Yep, this ain't gonna take long.
Nobody gonna know I was here.
That's why if they ever do a Metroid movie, I'm like, bruh, they gotta have her destroying stuff.
She has to be so destructive that it is insane.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. She's basically got to be RoboCop mixed with the Doom Slayer.
Yeah, mixed with Frieza.
Well, no, not quite because
she's not racist.
Oh yeah, she's not racist. Well,
yeah. I was about to say maybe
she is genocidal though, because if you're a space pirate, you're dead.
Genocidal. Yeah, but she ain't talking about monkeys.
No, yeah,
she ain't out here down talking. She just killing.
Yeah. She ain't said not a word about that.
She is an equal opportunity murker.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you didn't know she was a good guy, you would swear like she's the bad guy.
I mean, that's why I so badly want a Metroid game from the perspective of the space pirates, like I talked about before.
Oh yeah.
Where you running away from her, like at every turn you running away, something's blowing up behind you, and you just running, just trying to get away, trying to get to your spaceship or your escape pod, just trying to get away and survive.
I mean, they could have did it like Breakers, like that Dragon Ball game Breakers.
Nah, I would want it more like Dead by Daylight. I want it more like Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight, okay.
You trying to set up traps and stuff and trying to open up things to get yourself out, but you got to do it before she makes it to that room. Because if she make it to that room, you almost guaranteed to death.
Yeah, you're dead. You're dead. You are so dead.
And Geronimo was right on point with me.
Yeah, that would actually.
You in there. Fixing up stuff, setting up traps. Like, look, this just got to slow her down for 5 minutes. I just need 5 minutes.
Right.
Let me.
Yeah, because to be completely honest, it is a horror story from the perspective of the space pirates.
Oh, they tell you that much.
Yeah,
they definitely tell you in the Prime
game. That Prime 1 game is basically filled with lore of them being scared, basically shitless of her.
They don't want to run into her.
Mm-hmm.
She got that Minato Namikaze reputation.
Yeah.
Flee on sight.
Flee on sight. Like, one of the things is basically if you see the hatchling, get out. That's basically the whole of the lore part. Is basically when you read that section in Metroid Prime 1, it's basically telling you, because I forgot, it's on the frigate. It's basically, you see the hatchling, run. Because we can't stop her.
But if you ain't got the equipment to fight her, just run. Don't even stand.
Run.
Right. Just leave
Only
it alone.
fight if you backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Hide under a table.
Hide under a dead body and hope she don't look at you.
Yes, she's going to kill you if you're a space pirate. That's just it. It is
like,
what
look,
it is.
You see your boy Roger get shot, just fall with him.
Yeah,
just fall with him. Act like
Right.
Act like you got shot too. Act like the blast hit both of y'all.
Yeah. I mean, because that's about the only thing that may save you. But yeah, that would actually be interesting though. Metroid Dead by Daylight, especially since the whole series is actually based off of aliens.
Yeah.
I swear, if I could sit down and pitch this to Nintendo, especially since they want to do mature games now, if they let me sit down and just give me 20 minutes, I know I can convince them on this.
To be honest, I mean, because the way it goes, you can still, because she was murking people on all three.
Every planet, every space station she went to, she was straight destroying them.
Yeah. So
the only place it couldn't, it could work, but it wouldn't be it would be space pirates running from the X parasites versus running from Samus, or both.
Or both, yeah.
So
basically, because those are extra characters you can use, because the parasite is like an entity in and of itself.
Or think about the X parasites that became SAX that you run from at that point, because that thing wasn't just after Samus, it was cleaning out everything.
Yeah, it was just hungry.
Honestly, I think that was worse than her.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with that, especially because I know Metroid is more action oriented. It's not really horror. It's more action thriller, I would say. So I know it has some horror elements, especially if you played Other M. They kind of tried to infuse some horror elements into it, but it's more thriller than horror. Because the horror elements, she's the horror.
Yeah,
she's the horror. So, and the stuff she doing, I'm like, bruh, I know Triple H and Tony Khan would love to sign her to their promotions.
And if your name is Little Mac, she's horror in a different perspective.
Right.
Yeah. What was the meme? Round 2 at my place? Like, bro, Little Mac was scared out of his mind.
I'd be sweating bullets too. You both excited and scared.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this.
So let me ask you a question. If you were, let's just say for argument's sake, Nintendo decides to do an anime on Metroid, like an anime series or whatever, would you throw like a little Easter egg in there, like a picture, a poster of Little Mac that she likes boxing or something like that? Yeah,
like a little holographic picture where she turns it and it shows different poses of Little Mac. Little Mac bobblehead on her dashboard of her ship.
I never understood why they didn't do the bobblehead thing when they showed the inside of her ship that time. I'm like, why did they just? Because they started, that meme started in Brawl.
Yeah.
So they could have put it in Other M. They could have put that in Other M if they wanted to.
They could have.
Yeah. So I was like,
I don't think Nintendo was approving of the. I don't think Nintendo was approving of it at the time.
They probably didn't approve it, but they were laughing.
They didn't really become approving of it until Smash 4.
Yeah.
Because by Smash 4, that's when the memes really took off.
Oh yeah, dude. Smash 4, that was just like that's when they went into overdrive. In Brawl, it was just like, oh man, this is cute. It's funny. It's funny. We can't take this seriously. It's just funny. Smash 4 was like, nah, dog, that's true. We're gonna run with this. We're gonna run with this. So I'm like, okay, y'all running with it, and that's when the floodgates open. And of course, Miiverse did not help.
Oh no,
Because they were like,
not at
"Oh, we
all.
really finna go in overdrive now." Because now I get to draw on this pad. Oh, I'm gonna do all my artwork. So yeah, that was just fun. That's why I was like, I would love for them to do that. And the other thing, and I've talked about this before. I'm like, why hasn't anybody done a crossover with any of their first parties? Like, I would have loved to see Halo and Gears do a crossover. That would have been cool.
I could see that. Yeah, that could work for like one maybe 2 games.
Yeah, I would love to see that rumored Star Fox Metroid crossover that was supposed
that
thing's been rumored several times. It got rumored.
I thought that would have been pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, because that way you can, especially like a series like, Metroid and Star Fox, where they can't think of something to do. I'm like, well, put them both together.
Right.
If you can't think of a singular game, put them both together. I mean,
yeah,
that's what I would do.
Because I could see them doing a blend of both of them, having the ground segments be like Metroid or 2D Metroid at least for one game, and then having the spaceship segments.
Yeah, because I think one of the things I've always wanted to do in a Metroid game is actually do space missions.
Yeah,
like space, where she's doing dogfights, because supposedly she's good at it, but we don't ever get to see it.
Look,
kind of make you wonder if she's better than Falco. Probably, definitely.
She's so dope at it that nobody just bothers. Like, oh snap!
They're like, man, she's so good at it, nobody survives. So we,
well, nobody survives. Period. But
like, is that her?
Listen,
like
when you on the planet, though, you got a chance to run. In a spaceship, you ain't got a chance to run.
You hide in the asteroid field.
Like, yo, is that Samus's ship?
God, what are you doing here? Yeah, you ran into Samus. Dang it!
Like, what scene was? It was from Mass Effect. There was a scene that was like that.
We just got
where somebody was looking at something and just go. Yeah. Like, okay,
so
you got blown up.
Yeah. Her ship is yellow for a reason. You see that in the distance, you go the other way.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I think once you see her, it's just too late.
Yeah.
That's start praying at that point.
That's what the Lord says. That's what the Lord says. The Lord says, like, if she sees you and you are a space pirate or roll with them, you're not long for this world.
At that point, you just get on your knees and pray and hope you finish it in time.
Yeah, that's why. That's another reason why I'm so interested in Beyond, because when they had Psylocke show up, all that kept rolling through my mind is Sho'nuff from Enter the Dragon. Like, yeah, playtime's over, girl. And he comes with 2 Metroids. I'm like, the way they had the camera looking, he just looking at. I'm like, oh, player hater of the year, player hater of the year. He's the hater of the year, dude. He came with 2 fake Metroids and like, yeah,
gonna come in there and catch it. Gonna come in and catch hands.
Right, my name is Slickback. See who I brought with me. I brought my entourage with me.
Oh man,
it would be funny if they take off his helmet and he got an afro. But
no, not just an afro, a space afro.
Space afro.
Yeah.
Or a J curl. That would be even
more
more
gosh,
hilarious.
no.
That would be even more
They'll
hilarious.
have him like it Coming to America. He sit back and everything just
everything just
left.
juicy. Everything just juicy.
Oh, that would be gross.
It would be hilarious. It would be hilariously awesome though.
Just see him without his helmet on. He just leaned back and then he leaned off. Seared, slathering. Oh man!
Now, actually, that's not a bad one. Kirby,
just starring the Sushi Strikers.
That wouldn't be bad, actually.
I mean, it fits the theme.
Yeah,
and we know Kirby love to eat.
Yeah, yeah. But I just like, to me, crossovers would be the next thing that could probably work out for a lot of stuff, especially since.
Oh gosh, I just thought about something so horrible. Because of the fact that Samus appeared in the Kirby game.
No.
And Samus used Kirby as a weapon. She just pull him out of a little pouch she got in her back and just throw him, and he just devours everything going forward.
Yeah.
Like he just opened his mouth and everything just disappears.
I mean, well, we
She got the final weapon.
we played through Lost World, so we know that is possible.
Like it's just you just gotta think about how scary that would be. She just pulls this little pink glob out of her back, little satchel, whatever. And she just looks down like, "You got this, right?" Then she look at you, pitch, and that's it. Game over.
All he says is hi, and then like no.
You just see that mouth just go like this. Just, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. I didn't know what you were capable of. I am sorry.
I mean, because a lot of developers, especially now, they've been actually very adamant about this, about the length it takes to make games because of what the industry says people want. I'm like, that's a good way to.
Been wrong.
Yeah, but that's a good way to like, if you have to wait 5 years for a game. In the meantime, you can still keep your hype level up by releasing something smaller and a crossover. Like I said, like the Star Fox and Star Fox. The reason why I think Star Fox and Metroid would work just because they haven't done a new Star Fox game since Assault, the last new one. I'm like, you do
one
that
as far as story, yeah.
As far as story, yeah. Because they other than that, because Zero is just a remake of 64. Which is a remake,
was remake of the
first one. So,
technically, Star Fox Command.
Well, that's a remake of
not Command. Guard. I was
Guard.
saying
Yeah,
Command. Guard, because that's a whole different perspective.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can't think of anything, then let one of your teams or give Ubisoft a shot and let them do a crossover. Because I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, I would love to see what Platinum. I want Team Ninja to get another shot, honestly, because I think Other M was not a bad game. It was just they gave people what they asked for, and people pretended like they have short-term amnesia. But I would love for like either Team Ninja or Platinum Studios to get a shot at Metroid, just to make like a quick little action game. Like something not crazy, but especially like, for instance, since Metroid Dread, I was like, I really want to see what her training was like. Because with her training, she had to have mastered different weapons. Because the Chozo was using spears and other stuff. So I'm like, she had to learn how to fight like that. So yeah. I would love to see
her with different weapons.
A zero suit game where at the end of the game for the final boss you get the Variety, but leading all the way up to that you fight as Zero Suit where she has to use different weapons and stuff.
Yeah, or even set up scenarios in the game where she has to infiltrate with the Zero Suit because it doesn't pulse off the energy that her various suit does. Yeah. Because you could do that.
Yeah, you can do that. And since Platinum loves making kaijus, there you go.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you already got Kraid is her favorite kaiju to just
abuse.
Tear down.
Wants to keep showing up, and she ain't bothered by it now. I wonder how it feels to be like big and pause and be like a monster like that. Like, I'll eat you alive, and then she just stare at you like,
cool.
While she's charging the gun, like, you know, for the kill.
Who brought my mans? Like,
I'm about to give you PTSD like a bug, right?
She get that look like, who you? Who are you again?
I like she just casually charging the beam and just looking
just relaxed.
It's funny because who's the villain in Dread?
Ravenbeak.
Ravenbeak. Ravenbeak. Because like Craig's like, listen. I handle business. I take care of everything. I hold everything down. And Ravenbeak is like, you know what? I think you will make a perfect match to whoop who. I got the perfect. Yeah, it's on now, baby. Yeah. And then Craig show up.
As soon as he out the room, he gonna
die. She's like, yo, this fool again? Like, oh, so you must have not have told your boss that I whooped on you a few times already. Like
that was in the past. That was in the past. This is the future. This is the present right now. That was in the past. I don't think about the past.
I would
We
just,
doing this or what?
I would just be there. I would be Raven Beak in that situation. Susie out the room. I'm looking at all the monitors of all of his failings and like, yeah, he gonna die.
Yeah.
He gonna die.
Be looking like, I wish I could have found me a Meta Ridley. God dang it. I got to do this. I got to use him.
Right. Like, what happened to Ridley? Well, listen, I'm here and he's not. That's what's important. I made it. He didn't.
Craig in the office. Like, look, man, Ridley ain't nothing, man. I held it down. Ridley didn't do nothing. Ridley flew away.
Right.
Ridley a punk. I'm the real. He a punk. I'm the real.
You don't need wings to win. Understand.
Yeah. Understand. Hey, I didn't fly away. You know what I'm saying? I took it to the chest like a G. Like, wait, what? That would be hilarious, though. That would be
that would be perfect for Beautiful Joe.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Beautiful.
That would be so perfect for Beautiful Joe to have Craig in there complaining to the same agent that the
Tyrannosaurus Rex was.
They're like, man, look, stop booking me in these roles where I get trashed so fast, man. Like the last time they put me up against her, she wasn't even scared for a second, man. Did you see? She just stepped to the side of my attack like it was.
She just looked at me, bro. She just looked at me
so emotionless, man.
She dropped me a lava again.
She didn't even give me a second. She didn't even let me look good for half a second.
Like how
before me, she let look good.
How in the world am I gonna come in here and she gonna be like, you look like every other person I just fought? Matter of fact, you look like the worm that I was shooting at. Just go ahead and get a little bit of energy. Like I feel so hurt by how she just came at me.
I will say one of the things I loved about Beautiful Joe 2 was the fact that they actually said that was the Tyrannosaurus Rex from freaking Jurassic Park, and he was out of work. That was just hilarious to me. That was just hilarious because I was like, bro, why y'all do that, man? Like that. he was trying so hard to be a good actor.
Feelings hurt, right?
I was like, they even made him do like a fake karate thing. We had like a little mustache on. I'm like, bro, y'all are dead wrong for this. Y'all are dead, and I approve. So, but yeah, I can see that. Like that would be hilarious. Like that would be hilarious. But I mean, in all honesty, though, I wouldn't mind seeing like a straight up crossovers like between games. I don't know what you would cross over with Zelda. That's kind of, I would say Fire Emblem, but that's too easy.
Yeah, that's way too easy.
That's way too easy. But like I said, Star Fox and Metroid makes sense to me just from because you can easily make a black hole situation. You can sci-fi that thing up as to why they meet or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, have it be the best of both worlds. I miss Star Fox Adventures on Dinosaur Planet. I love that game. So if you're gonna do the ground levels like that and have but actually the one thing I didn't like about that game was the flight levels sucked. So I would actually have like space battles in there. Like
okay,
maybe have like 5 space battles, 4 land missions or whatever, and just make them like in space where you get to choose between using the R-wing or the gunship. And have them like where you have to actually look at like stats to see what would be best for the mission or whatever.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't mind doing that. But ever since I heard that back in like, because when did I hear that? I want to say I heard that right around 2000, 2001 was when I first heard about the thought of Nintendo doing a Star Fox and Metroid crossover. I forgot where I read it at, but I was like, that would be a cool idea, and I can see that working. I can really see that working. The more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, this could actually work if they wanted to do that. And I'm like, that could actually, when you have when you're thinking up the next mainline game, because you don't have to make it a open world 500-hour game. You can make that thing like a 20 to 30-hour game, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would That's how I would do it if it was me. And then I just change up the art style so it wouldn't be hella expensive. I'd probably just have some fun with the art style a little bit.
It's
But
funny because I was just about to put two franchises together, but then as I was like, oh yeah, and you could do this and you could do this, I was like, oh, that's literally the game I'm playing, which is Star Ocean till the end of time. Because I was like, I'm like in my head, I'm thinking like, you know what, it'd be real dope if you actually mix Xenoblade with Fire Emblem, because like Fire Emblem takes
Yeah.
place in the past, and you can have Xenoblade as the future. And like, okay, so like the characters would interact. How the characters would interact is like, since Fire Emblem or since Xenoblade is like the future, if you will, um, they could end up on this planet or whatever that is the Fire Emblem, basically the world of Fire Emblem or that universe or whatever, and they just kind of act as like coverts for whatever's going on in that world, whatever the plot is, have you. But I'm like, dang, that's Star Ocean. Like I'm literally talking about Star Ocean at that point. So like,
I mean, you can make it make sense if you say, because you know what, you could actually make that make sense if you use the XCX world, Xenoblade Chronicles X. If you use
yeah.
that one, that could actually make sense. Because, or you could just say Klaus did it. Because I hate Klaus, and Klaus. So it's Klaus's fault, and and that's where I'm gonna end with it. So yeah, I mean, I can see that. You know, you could actually make that work.
Because having a big, that's like one thing that like outside of Zelda, because that's medieval esque, if you will.
It's high
I would
fantasy.
I really want Nintendo to make an action game that is Fire Emblem. Not that I have any problem with the turn-based piece. I just really want to,
See
like, with
what it
the
would be
turn.
like.
Yeah, because like the turn-based piece kind of constricts the world because they're boards. You know what I mean? Like, you play on these boards and yeah, you get to see the areas, but you're confined to those areas. You can't really branch out and see what these kingdoms really look like, or like really look into the kingdoms like that. So
And that's why I like Fire Emblem Warriors too.
mhm.
That's why, and it's not because of the Warriors joke, but the reason why I like, because it's with that, I like the way that plays, and I like the lore of Fire Emblem. I just can't get into that gameplay style, but Fire Emblem Warriors I can get into. So
Yeah.
I kind of actually like. That's one of the reasons why I actually like that game, and honestly, to an extent, the Hyrule Warriors game. Even though I'm a massive Zelda head, I like what they do with it. That's why I wouldn't mind
Hmm.
them doing one every time they make a mainline game, having Koei Tecmo do one. I wouldn't mind it.
Have a little
I'm down for
companion
it.
piece.
Yeah,
I'm
a
down for it.
companion piece. Yeah, I mean, because Age of Calamity, while very good, spoilers for a 4-year-old game, um, it's basically a giant what if.
Yeah.
It's an episode of What If, because at first they made me think that it wasn't going to be a what if until they pulled that twist in midway through it, and I'm like, y'all should have did that. Y'all really should have did that.
Mm.
Because I would have left it like it was. I was like, no, like have this be that sad ending that led up to Breath of the Wild. Have it be that.
Right.
But
Right.
I guess I wouldn't give people a happy ending. So
I think honestly they just made it a what if because they didn't want there to be backlash over a side game having a major impact on the series.
yeah. But that's the thing. Like I understand, like the first Hyrule Warriors, they didn't want it to be canon, so to speak, but they came up with 3 characters that make sense if they ever wanted to put them in anything else. Lana, Sia are basically outside of the timeline, so they can do whatever they already oversee it. So I'm like, if they already know every version of Link and Zelda, technically they're canon.
And they're technically there's two sides of the same whole.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and the whole thing with Linkle, I'm like, the way they introduced Linkle, I thought was actually interesting and funny, because she's basically Zoro from One Piece, as far as she can't tell what directions are, but she can fight. And I'm like, okay, this could actually work if you're actually gonna say, because you can bring her in, and you can actually bring her into the main line if you wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
if they really wanted to. Now the problem is because you got people who want to say, because these are the same people that got mad that Zelda in Echoes doesn't wield a sword, but I'm like, she's not supposed to, because
And then you find out Link is playable anyway. So what difference
yeah,
does it make at that point?
what difference does it make? Yeah, well, and then they bring up the Queen Zelda from Hyrule Wars. I'm like, yes, that's
She's a
Queen
different
Zelda.
character.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
Zelda. Like every Zelda, there's only two Zeldas as a fighter. That one and Twilight Princess Zelda.
I was just about to say, when have you ever known Zelda to be the queen?
Yeah,
Not
and
ever.
that was the Japanese
I would say
version.
technically, I would even say Twilight Princess Zelda was supposed to be queen
She
too,
should have been
but
because the king ain't there.
Right.
there's no other royalty but beyond her,
Yeah.
so she would also technically be the queen.
Yeah, like the reason why she wasn't in Ocarina was because her dad was alive when they were kids. And then Wind Waker, they didn't know who she was. She was straight up pirate.
I mean, in that one she would still technically also be queen, but
Yeah.
because she didn't get her coronation, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, there is that, but it is what it is. So what could you cross over with Zelda and make it make sense?
I mean, look, if we really want to be shiesty, we're gonna go ahead and pull out Dragalia Lost.
No, you want to know what I was gonna say? You want to know what I was gonna say?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Kid Icarus, just to be petty.
Oh man, just to watch Link beat the snot out of.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, and the worst part is that was Twilight Princess Link.
That was Twilight Princess Link. Yeah.
Now we got Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom Link that uses far more techniques.
Yeah. But he ain't as violent either, though. But he ain't as violent.
He ain't as violent, but the whooping gonna be just as bad, if not worse.
I was just thinking because like Twilight Princess Link is that Link that's like
he's aggressive.
Yeah, really aggressive.
Hyper aggressive, like bro.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, you got Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom Link. He gonna stun on him though. He gonna be styling on him,
and not remember how he did it.
Like, you know what's so funny about you? You in a box.
It's just that you gotta think of how he might actually tear off on Pit now, thinking about because of how he did like volley.
Yeah.
He would probably
he might look at Pit and get flashbacks
get
like
PTSD. Get PTSD. I would have loved to have seen Rivali talk trash to Twilight Princess Link.
Oh no, that would not have ended well. that would do it. He would have had his wings ripped off.
Like, bro, you talking trash, but you better be glad you're talking trash to that Link because you would have said that message to the Twilight Princess Link. You would have been a champion.
I'm gonna stick your wings between this gear right here.
He'd have straight up pulled the Kratos on Icarus.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
He would have straight up pulled the Kratos Icarus. Like, oh no, you see these wings you got? These mine.
Well,
sailcloth.
Technically, it's not Nintendo's. It's Gunfire Games now. But Legend of Zelda Darksiders.
Yeah, that would work because it's not like that's too far off as far as gameplay style. Anyway, that would work.
That would actually be dope. That wouldn't happen, but because the second that happens, I know two companies are gonna complain.
But I mean, you could make
it's like
a story.
Soul Calibur.
You could make a story where that crossover happens, but bring back Demise and Girahim for that particular story.
I don't really care for Girahim like that. I love,
but
Demise.
he is Demise's sword, so you got they're 1-2 punch. You gotta have both of them.
That's true. That's true.
You gotta have both of them because if you don't have Girahim, Demise's most powerful weapon.
Yeah. Even though he treated Girahim like crap, dude.
You just gonna have to accept the the dittiness of Girahim.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what, Triple M? That could work if you
That could work
if
if
you
you do
do
2D Zelda.
If you do Zelda as Sheik and do that aspect. I think.
Actually, I think I had talked about doing that before.
Yeah, Prince of Persia, but if you make it.
Actually, I think I did it more as the Gerudo instead of
the Gerudo. Okay.
Yeah, mostly because of how their background is, and they deal with deserts and temples a lot.
Yeah.
And they look
cool.
similar to Prince of Persia. So yeah,
they're just the most. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I don't want to start no mess. I don't want to start no mess and get canceled. You know, I ain't drawn. So
I mean, Nintendo did that.
Yeah, Nintendo did that. That ain't me. But nah, that would actually be cool though, because I wouldn't mind a Gerudo game.
They need one.
Play as Gerudo. I wouldn't mind that.
They deserve one.
Yeah, that would be dope, honestly. And you get to pick what fight style you like whether you want to use bow, spear, or sword, shield, or dual blade. That would be cool. And you could probably, since it is Legend of Zelda, you can mix magic with it too, dude. That would be a dope game. But it needs to be action. So I'm gonna need like an action studio to do that, not I would need an action studio for that. And y'all know my usual go-to is Platinum. So give him equals Lord Fabulous. Yes, that is true.
He does, but at the same time, he's just as bad as Tingle is from some ass.
Yeah. And yeah. Although I wouldn't mind seeing a Soul Calibur game with Girahim versus Voldo to see who can out weird the other one.
I'd give it to Girahim. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm giving that to Girahim. Voldo is just
weird,
hyper flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girahim makes you feel uncomfortable.
But I will also say too that Voldo also has one of the greatest stationary moonwalks I've ever seen in my life.
It's just so smooth.
Nice and slow motion.
I think though Girahim would make Voldo's eyes actually pop out.
I mean, dude, you saw what he did to Link when he got by Link and started licking his tongue. Link was like, "Hey, dude, hey, bro,
yeah,
disgusting.
Hey, stop!" Woo!
He's like, no. He's like,
"Hey, don't make me turn the Twilight Princess, Link." He said, "Don't make me."
Don't, like, bro, don't approach me like that again. Don't approach me that way.
That was early in the game. That's so funny.
We're gonna call you woke. Just stop it.
All right, peeps. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you to everybody who joined in the chat. We really appreciate you stopping through and hanging with us for a little bit. I'm gonna try to make sure I have the audio up tomorrow. So if you missed it, you can always watch the recap, or you can hit us up on Spotify or Amazon Music because all of the episodes are there. So if you ever want to listen to us while you're at work or just chilling, we do have everything up on Spotify and Amazon and Anchor if you're using Anchor as well. So just so you know. Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
I mean, besides my seeming infinite pettiness, no, just a couple videos that dropped this week. The Nintendo being doomed again, obviously. And me talking about the Bungie layoffs, pretty much the same stuff we talked about here. But if you just wanted to hear me flesh it out myself, but that's about it. And I'll try to get a couple other things out. I did do a pitch for Switch video for 32X, but it seems like nobody really likes that idea for some reason. And I don't even know why. What did the 32X do to y'all? Like,
to be fair, I never played it. I didn't get the 32X. I got Dreamcast. So
that's why I'm like, the 32X ain't get much love.
Yeah,
it and the Sega Saturn came out within months of each other.
Yeah, so I never
using the same equipment.
Yeah, I never played it, so that's why I was like, I don't even know what games came out on it.
There's like 40 games that came out for it total, which honestly, all of them should have been moved over to another platform, but they never did. So, Sega
That's
Mm.
Sega
Sega and
ingenuity.
they bad choices
Yeah,
during the
Mm.
they
90s.
want bad judgment. All right, Sandstorm.
So yesterday, likewise, we talked about um the Bungie and that whole situation. We also talked about uh the numbers. We talked about the numbers for Nintendo and where they're sitting at. So if you want to check that out, weirdly and oddly enough, Risky didn't show up for that, which is super weird. That was really weird. I'm like, where you at, bro? You should.
He avoided that one like the plague.
Yeah, I guess he ain't want no parts. But and then we also watched the trailer for the new DLC for Mortal Kombat. So if you want to check that out, I'm gonna reword that. Make sure you check that out. As well, we are at 487 subscribers, I believe. So we're like 13 short of 500.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, sir. And so make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And if they already know, then tell them to tell their friend or their cousin or their girl or whoever to add. And if y'all got girlfriends, make sure you tell them to add too on top of that. Because regardless of if they watch or not, we need them numbers. So tomorrow is the Joe podcast. So making sure you guys show up for that. And of course, all my brothers here and Vicky too. Make sure you follow them on all their social media platforms.
Yep. Yep. I did forget to say one game that I did play. I did try out the Visions of Mana demo. If you want, you can check that out. I don't like the quality of it because I did it as a live stream, so I'm gonna redo that and just do it straight from the Elgato and re-upload it. So I just didn't like how it looked. The game looks great, plays great. Well, the demo did anyway. Um, so it it's one of those games I want to get, but I'm gonna have to wait on that one.
Mm.
There's just too much. There's just too much. And there's other games that I want to get. So, and they've already been pre-ordered. So, Visions of Man is probably not gonna get bought till next year. But I did enjoy the demo, and the demo is live on PlayStation and Xbox and Steam. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is. The demo is live on Steam, if I'm not mistaken. But there, you can play the demo. It only takes place for a small section of the game. It took me about an hour and a half to complete it, but it has a boss fight in there. It has an open area in there where you can like level up to a certain extent, but you can't change classes. Uh, you can only do the class. You can change classes between certain characters, but you can't change class on the actual character itself, if that
Mm.
makes sense. So they won't let you do that, but you do get to mess around and manipulate a few things. Plays a lot like Trials of Mana that came out a few years ago. It plays a lot like that. So I guess that was the litmus test to see if they were going to go with that art style and gameplay design, and they did. So
Mm.
uh, it is a fun game, fun demo to play if you want to jump into that one. And you can see some gameplay, like I said, on the channel. I'm just going to re-upload a different version of it because I don't like the way StreamYard has it looking. It makes it look, but it makes it not look like it's in 1080, and it is. It's actually in 4K. So I don't know why StreamYard looks like this when you're doing it live, but that's neither here nor there. Other than that, I don't really have anything. Hope you guys had a chance to watch the BIPOC Streamer Awards last night. I unfortunately wasn't able to. I was dealing with some stuff, but heard everybody had a good time. Congratulations to those who won, and look forward to next year because I'm pretty sure Vicky's gonna do it again next year. So hopefully,
Oh yeah, this is a thing now.
yeah.
It got a sponsor officially this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. This
Yeah,
is
it's a
yearly
thing going forward.
annual.
So uh, congratulations to everybody who won, and let's make sure we. If you haven't a chance, I think she's gonna have it up on YouTube. I gotta ask her, but if you didn't get a chance to, let's try to make sure that we give them props because those are some good peeps. So other than that, we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we got Gamescom coming up. I think on the 20th, and I think it's 2 days. So we're gonna do opening night live, and we'll try to keep a tab on that because I think Jeff is hosting opening night live, so it's gonna be fun. But yeah, we'll have more info when as that time rolls around. So, all right, peeps, see y'all next week.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.